Right now, as you sit here listening to these words, there's a program running in your brain. It's been running since the day you were born, consuming your mental resources, dictating your choices, and limiting your potential. This program has convinced you that you're not smart enough, not talented enough, not worthy enough. It whispers that you'll fail, that people will judge you, that you should play it safe. This program has a name, it's called fear. And just like any other program, it can be identified, analyzed, and deleted. You see, your brain doesn't know the difference between a real tiger charging at you and an imaginary audience judging your presentation. To your ancient neural circuits, both scenarios trigger the same red alert: danger ahead. Retreat immediately. Your heart pounds. Your palms sweat. Your mind goes blank, all because of a program that's running on outdated software from the Stone Age. But here's the revolutionary truth that changes everything: you are not your fear. You are the programmers. Fear is simply code running in your system. And you have administrator access. You can examine this code, understand its function, and choose whether to keep it running or shut it down. The moment you realize this, everything changes. You stop being fear's victim and become its master. Let's debug this program together. When you examine fear closely, you'll discover something fascinating. It's rarely about the present moment. Fear lives in the future, creating elaborate horror movies about things that haven't happened and probably never will. It shows you worst-case scenarios on repeat, convincing you that these fictional disasters are inevitable. But when you shine the light of awareness on these mental movies, they lose their power over you. Think about the last time you were genuinely afraid. Were you actually in danger in that moment? Or were you afraid of what might happen? Were you responding to reality or to a story your mind was telling you? Most fears are just that: stories. And stories can be rewritten. The most insidious thing about the fear program is how it masquerades as wisdom. It tells you it's keeping you safe, protecting you from harm, being realistic about your limitations. But protection and paralysis are two different things. True wisdom knows the difference between healthy caution and destructive fear. Healthy caution says, check the weather before climbing the mountain. Destructive fear says, don't climb mountains, they are dangerous. Here's what most people don't understand about courage: it's not the absence of fear. Courage is feeling the fear and choosing to act anyway. It's recognizing that the fear program is running, acknowledging its presence, and then making a conscious decision about whether to follow its recommendations. Sometimes the answer is yes if there's genuine danger. Listen to that fear. But most of the time, the answer is no, that fear is just outdated code trying to keep you in your comfort zone. The comfort zone is fear's favorite hiding place. It's where the fear program runs most efficiently, convincing you that small and safe is better than big and uncertain. But here's what the fear program doesn't want you to know: your comfort zone isn't actually comfortable. It's just familiar. It's a prison you've grown accustomed to, decorated with excuses and rationalized with some days and maybes. When you start to delete the fear program, something magical happens. You begin to see opportunities where you once saw obstacles. You start taking action where you once hesitated. You discover that the very thing you were afraid of, failure, rejection, judgment, is nowhere near as bad as the fear program made it seem. In fact, you often find that what you were afraid of was exactly what you needed to experience to grow. The deletion process isn't instantaneous fear, is persistent malware that tries to reinstall itself constantly. Every time you step outside your comfort zone, every time you attempt something new, every time you dare to dream bigger, the fear program will try to boot up again. But once you know it's just a program, once you understand its tactics, you can recognize it immediately and choose not to run it. Start small. Identify one area where fear has been running your life. Maybe it's the fear of speaking up in meetings, the fear of starting that business, the fear of having a difficult conversation, or the fear of pursuing your artistic dreams. Look at this fear directly. What story is it telling you? What terrible outcome is it predicting? Write down these predictions and then ask yourself, is this actually likely to happen? Or is this just the fear program catastrophizing? Then take one small action despite the fear. Send that email. Make that phone call. Sign up for that class. Submit that application. Notice what happens when you act in spite of the fear program's protests. Notice that the world doesn't end. Notice that you're more resilient than the program gives you credit for. Notice that action, even imperfect action, is the best antidote to fear. The most beautiful thing about deleting the fear program is what it reveals underneath your authentic self. The person you were before fear convinced you to shrink. The person with big dreams, bold ideas, and the audacity to believe they could make them real. That person didn't disappear, they just got buried under layers of fearful programming. When you delete those programs, your true self emerges. This isn't about being reckless or ignoring genuine risks. This is about recognizing that most of what you fear isn't real danger, it's just your programming trying to keep you small. This is about understanding that you have a choice in every moment: run the fear program or run the courage program. Both are available to you. Both are just software. The question is, which program serves your highest potential? The world needs what you have to offer, but it can't receive your gifts if they are locked away behind walls of fear. Your dreams, your ideas, your unique perspective, these aren't luxuries. They are necessities. They are exactly what someone, somewhere, is waiting for you to share. But you can't share them if you're running fear-based programming that tells you to hide, to play small, to wait for permission. So I challenge you today, identify the fear programs running in your life. Look at them with curiosity rather than judgment. Understand that they were once trying to protect you, but now they are just holding you back. And then, with compassion for yourself and determination for your future, begin the process of deletion. Your authentic life is waiting on the other side of your fears. The person you're meant to become is ready to emerge. All you have to do is stop running the programs that keep them locked away. You are not your fear. You are the programmer. And it's time to write some new code.